Welcome back to the Bellringers Podcast, where we talk all things
sports betting,
and sprinkle a little pop culture here and there. My name is Tyler Press.
and I'm Ryan McDonald. There you go.
Yeah, we got it this
please,
time.
as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thebellringerspod. Subscribe to our YouTube, like our videos, like our shorts, all that good stuff. We're going to be trying to do a little bit different of a format. We're going to try and go maybe 20-minute videos segments in terms of like maybe 20-minute football or sports segment, and then a 20-minute pop culture instead of doing the super long hour plus.
Because pop culture's back, Ryan.
Yeah.
We got the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and episode 1 did not fail to amaze. I loved it so much. All right,
Yeah.
But first, we'll talk about the NFL. So I'm trying to think of how do I want to swindle this into a intro.
Bellringers are breaking down the NFL landscape as the playoffs roll into the championship or conference championship games. Get ready. Is that good enough?
I like it. If you had a little juice to it, I'm fucking hard as a rock.
The Bellringers podcast is about to roll into the conference championship game for the NFL as we recap the wild card and divisional weekends and see who we like going into the Super Bowl.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, we obviously are breaking down 2 weeks because we took a little hiatus, but we are back, obviously trying a new format, and we're excited to get back in touch with you guys. Missed you.
Yeah.
So start things off with wild card
I
weekend.
I want to say one thing before we start off.
Absolutely, Ryan.
My Carolina Panthers won the NFC South.
They sure did.
That's a legendary pick.
And my Pittsburgh Steelers won the AFC North.
Yeah, and then Mac Tomlin got let go. Well,
Mac
he
Tom-
stepped down.
Yeah, he didn't get let go. He left on his own.
Wait,
terms.
I think did they win? What were they? 9-8.
I believe so.
It was
Yeah.
something close to that.
Yeah, they were positive. I think
I did like how the Atlanta Falcons got like they
knocked the Bucs out of
they
the
got
playoffs.
well the Atlanta Falcons got knocked out of playoff contention on December 6th and then tied for first with in their division.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that you could do that.
It is crazy, and it's just classic like NFC North fashion that the team in
NFC
first
South.
and second place match up. The Bucs win, and there is just a little stipulation where if Carolina won, automatically in the playoffs because Carolina's one game up. If the Bucs won and they tie the record, they would be in, except if the Atlanta Falcons could win against the Saints.
Yeah, it was an all divisional.
Yeah, all division week.
I
So
completely didn't realize that. Like when Carolina lost to the Bucs, I was like, "Damn, that kind of stinks." Like Carolina doesn't win, and then like the TV was like, "No, that's where you're wrong. Just
Yeah.
wait, there's more." And
No,
I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I got the big brain people at the bar. Me, how we were like went out to a sports bar just for dinner, just like as our date night thing, and the game was on, and we're watching it. And it's like around the fourth quarter, and I hear people behind me who like just sat down. They're like, "Oh, this game's like pretty interesting. Like winner of this gets to go on to the playoffs." And then one person's like, I think there might be some of the stipulation. I spun my bar stool around. And I was like, actually, if Atlanta loses, like, was so pumped to be like, oh, I got you, bro. You're asking for some information. Here it is, silver platter.
What an on-field reporter. we got
Yeah,
here.
Dude, I spun like breaking news.
They're still in the hunt.
Yeah, that was good though. But so going into wild card weekend, I just lost the docs. You want to start us?
Yeah, so the Rams beat the Carolina Panthers 34-31. That was Carolina almost had a good like that. I mean, Stafford led a game-winning drive with 2.5 minutes left, but Carolina was close to winning. That would have been cool to see them keep going.
I'm mad. This is like the one game I didn't get to watch because I was making chicken cutlets.
That was the main game I watched, I think, to be
I know,
honest. 'cause I
and
was
I'm
rooting
just
my Panthers on.
relying on your guys' information, and I kept getting,
Yeah, I forgot
Yo,
about
guys, a little more words with these recaps because they're in a room right next. Like we're
I
in
forgot
the
about this,
Poconos,
yes.
and I'm making dinner for everybody with my fiance. Everybody else is in the other room watching the game. I can't see a TV whatsoever, and I'm just getting oohs and ahs instead of actual real reporting when they're supposed to be giving me
Yeah.
information about the game.
And then I think the first touchdown, we also, all three of us or four of us watching, stopped paying attention for
Yeah.
a minute. And then I was like, oh, hey, Ty, touchdown. I was like, yeah, I know.
I know.
I came back and looked.
faintly hear the broadcaster say touchdown. I didn't see. I look over and all of you guys are on your phone. That was such a great game that I didn't get to watch, but
Bears beat the Packers 31-27 at home. That was another close one. With Packers led 21-6 to start the game, and they got upset.
All-time comeback.
And then Bills beat Jags 27-24 in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence throws an interception with 1 minute left to end the game. And then, of course, the 49ers defeat our Philadelphia Eagles 23-19 in just a sad showing. But we've got what we asked for. Kevin Patullo is no longer our offensive coordinator.
And does it hurt a little more fast forwarding into what just happened to the 49ers against Seattle?
Sort of, but we would have played the Bears, so it's not like we would have played the Seahawks. So that's
Very true.
It's not like,
but
I also don't think we would have gotten manhandled the way the Niners did.
I know, but when you see the team that beat you lose like that, it's like, shit, how bad were we? And I know we were bad. I had, like, the only aspirations I had for the Super Bowl was, like, maybe Petula's just now going to bring out a fucking binder of actual
He's just
plays.
been hiding shit.
He's like, oh, this team's going to make it to the playoffs. Let me keep these in, like, the back burner. And, like, maybe he's just going to pull magic out. All the animosity, all the fighting on the team, all the dramas on the team is just going to whisk away when Kevin Petula brings out this magical binder of plays that he's been hoarding.
I did see.
Didn't happen, by the way.
I saw an interview with a little child, or not at that little,
Small
probably
child,
like
small
12,
lad.
13 years old, little boy, Eagles fan. He was asked about what he wanted the team to change. He's like, I want A.J. Brown in another jersey, and I want Kevin Petula bagging fries at McDonald's. And I was like, the A.J. Brown thing might be a little too far.
I don't know. He's a little. I'm a little mad at A.J. Brown, too.
But at the same time, yeah, but what are we going to get for him?
He's a great receiver. We're going to lose a shit ton of money if we trade him away. I don't think we're getting more than like a second rounder for him.
You're not getting back what he's worth, so I don't
No.
think it's worth it.
But
I'd rather deal with a diva. I don't care that
a
much.
diva, but dude, like you can't like looking back on that season, you had a dude who we're winning games. We're winning games steadily, and they don't look pretty, and he's not happy because he's not getting the ball. He's not getting his stats. We go on about a 3 to 4 game stretch where he gets like 7 to 8 targets, 100 yards a game. We lose all 4. He doesn't say a word of complaint. Is completely happy, no problems whatsoever. Then I think we start going back to trying to win the game properly. He's still getting his licks, but like we're winning games again, and he goes back to like we're putting a Band-Aid over it just because we win doesn't mean we're doing anything right, and just like complaining about everything all season unless he's getting his numbers. And then the big game comes around, we are still force feeding him the ball, and he makes like 2 or 3 massive drops, which like
that part was tough.
But you can't crumble in the playoffs like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I don't think anyone on that offense was happy this whole season because we didn't score that many points to begin with. We weren't playing well, so I don't think.
Yeah, but I didn't hear a fucking word out of Devontae Smith.
Well, yeah, because they're not going to complain to the media. I understand that part, but I don't think anyone was necessarily happy. So I mean, but also like Petula, I think we had the best crossing route rate, or like something where in terms of like passing yards. The best crossing route percentage, or like it's yardage per play, and then we had the lowest rate of times we ran those routes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like A.J. Brown's best thing: go over the middle, catch the ball, and run. And then they just didn't run them.
No.
So,
all right, we got to fly through if we're gonna make it 24 minutes.
Patriots hold off Chargers at home in the wild card, 16-3. Texans not destroy, but beat up on Pittsburgh, 30-6.
You can say destroy. 30-6 is pretty slow.
Yeah, but it was kind of like I feel like if I remember correctly, it was kind of close for a while, and then all of a sudden the Texans just got 24. Like when
I think it was a defensive touchdown or special teams touchdown.
All right. You want to start off our divisional round?
All right. Moving on to last week's round, divisional round. First game up. Is this in chronological order?
No.
It's not. What was the first game that was up?
It might have been this game. I think this is the first game up. I don't know if it's in chronological order throughout. No, because I think it was this one. Yeah, I don't know.
Buffalo and Denver, I think.
That one definitely was the first one. I don't know what was second.
To end the night, it was San Fran, Seattle.
Okay.
And then it was Houston and then LA.
Okay.
All right. So, first game of the weekend was Buffalo at Denver. Obviously, Denver wins, beats Buffalo 33-30. In overtime, Bo Nix happened to, completely break his ankle on the last?
Pretty sure, yeah.
The last play he was in the game, he took a kneel just to center the ball for the winning field goal, and in the process of kneeling, breaks his ankle. He's out. He's already gotten surgery, and this is like a no-winner situation. Like Buffalo obviously gets eliminated on the one playoffs in Josh Allen's career where there's no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And he can't get out of the second round, loses to a young quarterback, which obviously just a great defense too. Denver's got an amazing defense, but felt like it was Josh Allen's year. And
I think in this situation, the Denver Broncos should be able to draft one quarterback from a team in the AFC that did not make the playoffs.
a starting quarterback?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Just for 2 games.
Yeah, I know that.
Get Joe Burrow. Let's
It's
see
not a
Joe
draft,
Burrow
right?
on the Broncos.
Nobody else is doing it. They just have their pick of the litter.
Yeah.
So they
just
can
for the
just
2 games. And
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, or Joe Burrow.
No.
Well, no, Lamar. No, the Ravens didn't make the playoffs. Never mind, they can't pick.
Ravens didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, so
Chiefs
you can
didn't
pick
make the
him.
playoffs. So you're giving him free range.
Patrick Mahomes can't play. He's injured.
Yeah, okay, but
So you're getting Joe Burrow or
right. If
Lamar
that was the
Jackson.
case, I would go into every single season with a terrible quarterback and shoot him in the fucking leg once we got to the playoffs.
If you make the playoffs, you have to make the playoffs first.
Yes,
and also, no, it's also the only the AFC Championship game. I'm saying championship game or farther.
Okay.
So, like, us and Foles, we had to just stick it out. But if you get here, I want an interesting game. I don't want to see the Patriots just run over the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos have an amazing defense, but then again, so do the Houston.
But now
Houston had a better
you're saying
defense.
Jeff Stidham or Jared Stidham is going to perform?
Right. A lot of people are saying that about Nick Foles.
Yeah, but Nick Foles had a huge one.
Doesn't matter. A lot of people were saying that about Nick Foles versus the Patriots, mind you, who he was able to beat.
All right. I just can't see the Patriots get to the Super Bowl again. Can't do
I
it.
don't know what I hate to tell you this, but it's probably gonna happen.
No, I understand that, but I don't want to see it happen.
And let's see what else was about that game. Josh Allen has, I think, 4 turnovers, 5 turnovers maybe.
I think I've seen something where like Josh Allen and I forget who was the other quarterback. Was Josh Allen? It might have been Drake May or it might have been someone else. But they're like they have as many turnovers in one playoff game as Jalen Hurts. No, Jalen Hurts has in all 10 of his.
All 10 playoff games. Yep, I did see that as well.
Which head coach Sean McDermott also got fired. I think was it yesterday or?
Yes,
That's a tough
McDermott
one.
got fired, which I think is the right move. I think he's going to get a job because I think he's a good coach, but you had to switch something up.
I don't know because I mean I guess maybe in that game he's a defensive coach, so letting up 33. But I still don't think he's ever been the problem.
Josh Allen fumbled 3 times, lost 2 of them, and had 2 interceptions. So 4.
I feel like Josh has consistently been kind of turnover prone in the playoffs.
He plays. This is like
Which
I think one
get
of the
like
first playoff games where
regular
I think we
season
can
wise,
blame
I
him.
think you can be a little bit risky and go for big plays, but I think sometimes in the playoffs you have to be a little bit more
I don't
conservative.
know. The last time he got eliminated was against the Chiefs in the overtime, which he played a perfect game. Chiefs got the ball at the beginning of overtime and ran down the field. and won.
Yeah, that one's different.
I think he's been, pretty lights out in the playoffs. It's just the team, his defense doesn't hold up, and like this team, like the defense did let up 33 points. He did turn the ball over a lot and give them, I think, fair field position.
I mean,
you
can't blame the defense of this game.
I know, but I think a couple of them were pretty much punts. What do you think about that overtime interception? The deep ball to Brandon Cooks that came down with the ball in the process of hitting the ground may have came out and went into
that
the
one was
corner's
weird. 'Cause I
hands.
think that even didn't one of the defenders say something about like he caught it or whatever. Like it.
So he caught it, was on the ground with his
Yeah.
knees, and had somebody, and the McMillan I think was touching him, so he was down, and technically when you're catching the ball and you're going to the ground, you have to control it through the ground, which his whole body's on the ground, and he still had control. But I think like as he was rolling, the cornerback was on top of him and pulled the ball out, and like a lot of people are saying like if you look at that and take the quarterback out, that ball comes out and hits the ground. They called it an incomplete pass a lot of times, so technically that could be considered a. But like he's not down because he got touched because of the fact that he has to control the ball through the ground.
I mean it's kind of weird because like they also say like a catch has to be like it's basically like 3 football moves or whatever like 1 2
football
step.
move or 3 steps. I think a football move is like turning off field, but 3 steps pretty much. Or 2 steps on the sideline.
So then it kind of gets weird, but then it's like, all right, you don't have to do a football move to get a catch if you just have 2 feet inbounds and then go out of bounds.
That's
like,
my
all
problem
that.
with it too. The sideline, you have people that are tiptoeing with 2 feet in, and then you have the Isaiah Likely play in the end zone where he catches it, is running 2 full strides, and then it does like his 3rd foot's about to hit the ground, and the guy punches the ball out, and it's an incomplete pass. It's like, if he was on the sideline, this would have been a fucking touchdown. Like, how does that make any sense? It's weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of like loopholes and like if only in this situation this is a rule.
It kind of lends itself more to interpretation where like the refs can kind of choose what they want in the moment.
And in overtime, again, I think the biggest problem with this was it was in overtime of a division round playoff game, and they didn't like take it to New York at all. They literally showed us 2 replays, and we're like, and like you're out watching the game with people. The whole crowd split of like, I'm at a bar, I'm like, that has to be a catch. It's like, no, that's an interception. Like, everybody's indecisive about it. And then you look up and the Broncos are snapping the ball, and you're like, they're not even going to take a second look at this whatsoever. It was questionable the fact that it's such a big play in a playoff game where if that's deemed a catch, they win the game with a field goal.
No, and that's sometimes where I feel like New York should be able to just be like, hey, no, we're going to stop. We're going to take a look at this. Like
screw your time slate. That's the most important play of the game.
Yeah. This is like a NFL playoff game. We're gonna don't do that for regular season games. Kind of let regular season games go. But like when it comes to the playoffs, you gotta kind of maybe stepping in.
Like quite literally was the changing point of the game because if that would have been a catch, like I said, he's on the I think 25-yard line.
Yeah.
Kicking a walk-off field goal. So it is pretty ridiculous.
All right, do you want to move on to...
That was a long talk on Buffalo Bills. Sorry.
I'll head up the next game. That's San Francisco 49ers at Seattle Seahawks. As we said, they got smoked. Was it 41-6? Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say. The Seattle the whole game just was on them. I think they were up like 13-0 by the first quarter.
And it was just kick return off the rip, right?
Oh, yeah,
Shaheed kick return.
It was like a 90-some-yard touchdown. I did have someone mention to me that they bet on DraftKings. It was like the king of the end zone or whatever, where it's like the longest touchdown.
Yeah.
And then they bet on Rashid Shaheed, and I was like, that's a lucky one.
That's good. I mean, he's the deep ball guy. But
yeah. Well, I probably would have picked
JSN too.
Because like when he was talking about it, he's like, guess who I picked? I was like, JSN. He's like, no, Rashid Shaheed. I was like, you lucky dog. But,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, obviously defense just dominated. San Fran couldn't do anything. Now, they didn't have George Kittle this game, which he got hurt in the Philly game.
Do we want to? Did you hear what happened after he got hurt?
No.
So the owner came down and said, "Hey, like, what do you like?" Or went to the trainer and was like, "Hey, what do you want?" He's like, "I just tequila." So the owner went up, grabbed a bottle of tequila, and brought it right down to him within like a minute.
And then it
was gone apparently by the end of the game.
That's beautiful. I love that.
There's a picture of it, like him on like the training table, and there's just a bottle of Patron kind of in the background. It's like, oh, that's a dog.
Yeah, that's
he's just like, get me a bottle of Patron, and then he just smoked it, which maybe is not the. I mean, not the healthiest, but at the same time, he knows he's going to be in rehab for a little while.
He's not going to be playing for a while. That's great. I love that.
Smith, that's a lot of tequila. I would be throwing up everywhere. It'd be gross.
Yeah, I wouldn't go tequila. I probably would go bourbon. But anything else on the game? Obviously, Shaheed, huge touchdowns, big. The defense is legit. I hate to say it, but
I think they're probably the leader in the clubhouse.
So that's what I'm saying is, I know we couldn't do it, but is their offense that legit, or is it like the Niners' defense was just so banged up that they played well against us.
I think
our offense is fucking stale as hell.
I think their offense has done pretty well the whole season, so I think it's pretty legit.
No, I'm just waiting for the moment of Sam Darnold showing up.
Yeah,
which it didn't happen. I mean, Charbonnet goes out and Kenneth Walker balls out. Like I think that Kenneth Walker is a stud. Their split carries, I think, limits both of them because I think they both are solid running backs.
Yeah, so I think Charbonnet did pretty well in the beginning of the game before he got knocked out.
Yeah, I love Kenneth Walker. I'm happy he might ball out for the rest of the playoffs. Moving on.
Yeah, either Houston and New England or the Rams, Chicago.
You can get the Rams night game. I'll go Houston, New England. So Patriots beat Texans 28-16 in a snowy game in Foxborough. Didn't really have much on this game. C.J. Stroud looked god awful without Nico Collins, and I think he lost Dalton Schultz early in the game by underthrowing him on a route, and Schultz like having to bend backwards.
Yeah, it was some weird thing with his ankle. Yeah,
his knee or his ankle. Yeah, he got hurt. So then without the two of them, I mean, I think even with prior, like C.J. Stroud just looked terrible this game.
Yeah, so I think Christian Gonzalez came back for the Patriots, which obviously helped them a ton.
Mm-hmm. But the game it was honestly a very, very ugly game. Obviously, weather helped with that, but neither quarterback played particularly great. I don't know. I like C.J. Stroud a lot, and he had the sophomore slump. He didn't really play great this year either. I mean, like Nico was out a lot of the season, which didn't help him, but.
A lot of it was their defense.
He still also doesn't have Tank Dell. He didn't have Tank Dell all season. So you're looking at this next season where he's going to have Nico and Tank Dell back.
I mean, and his running backs were he didn't know he was running back. Joe Mixon was out for, the whole season?
Mixon you've yet to hear a single thing about Joe Mixon. Like, drove me nuts in fantasy. I drafted him on two teams thinking, like, could be a late addition. That would be sick, but no. Just never gotten a single bit of information about him.
And then the final game of the divisional round weekend, we had the Rams at Chicago. Came down to overtime. Pretty good ending as Caleb Williams gets a Hail Mary of not like a distance wise, but just a prayer, hoping a prayer of a touchdown pass to was it Cole Kmet?
Yep.
Yeah. Just with 18 seconds left in the corner of the end zone. I mean, it was a lucky throw, but at the same time you have to make it, and he made it.
The play it looked dead as anything.
Yeah.
Like he was scrambling back. I think he ended up back like 15 some odd yards, left and right. He's just the defensive line was all over him. And I thought he threw the ball away.
Yeah, because it looked like it was kind of just like a lean back and heave kind of thing.
Yeah, and Kmet couldn't have been more open in the end zone.
Yeah, and then they just couldn't. They just couldn't score in overtime. Can't get there.
No,
but I mean,
I'm trying to think of what did happen? Like, did they 3-0? Was there? I think he threw a pick in overtime, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he threw a pick. Yeah, and I think
Might
the
have
pick
been.
was the part that since the Rams
yeah.
lost, since the
Yeah,
Bears
yeah.
lost, people were gonna remember the pick more than the touchdown.
Yeah.
Which
But I know the Rams just had they threw a pick, I think, because then they just had to score a field goal, and that was it.
sad. I did want to
Yeah.
see the Bears win. I didn't honestly watching Sunday's game. I was
Yeah.
home and I was like, in a perfect world, Houston wins and the Bears win, and neither happened. And then honestly, I think the only team that won that I would have preferred winning was Seattle, because I'd rather have Buffalo won. Would have rather Houston won. Would have rather Chicago win, and Seattle, San Fran. I hate San Fran. I don't have any bad feelings about Seattle. I just think they might be on fraud watch, but they look pretty damn good. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of JSN because he did well for me at fantasy this year. So yeah, I just had one little snippet. I guess mainly just about I think it was the wild card playoffs in general. So this is what, the third season we've been doing 7 NFL playoff teams instead of 6.
yes,
So and then we get the 1 bye instead of 2. So both 5 and 6 seeds made it to the divisional round and had better records than their opponents they played in the wild card, except for the Bills or the Jags, where the Jags did have a good record, but the Bills beat them. But the 49ers had a better record than us, I think, and beat us.
mm-hmm.
And then 6 seeds would have been
Patriots.
No, Patriots were a 2 seed.
Not the Patriots. I'm sorry.
The
Who lost their
Rams were a 6 seed and
Okay.
beat the who did they play in
Carolina?
Yeah, had better records than Carolina.
Oh, the Steelers and the Houston.
Yep. And then then the Bills and Jags were the one that didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of just like both 5 and 6 seeds, not the 7 seed obviously. That was the last wild card. So it's kind of like maybe do we just go to a straight one through
non-division.
Yeah.
Then your Carolina Panthers wouldn't have made it.
Well, no, you could still. I mean,
They can still make it.
Yes,
but
but
I don't think they
you'd be seeded 7 instead of the
Oh.
seeding might just be
So they still are guaranteed a playoff spot for winning
Yes.
their division. It's just as soon
your
as
seed might be lower.
all the division winners are in, and then the next 3 best records are in, then you do the side seeding.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I don't hate that. Do you want to talk about? You don't want to. We don't hold off on the coaches.
Yeah, we
Do
can.
you want to do your little NFL team?
Yeah, so going back to the NFL teams I eliminated from playoff contention, what was it, week 2 or 3? I got pretty close with the NFC. No, it might be the AFC, because I was wrong on the Bears, was wrong on the Panthers, but I got correct the Giants, Cowboys, Saints, and Cardinals, and that was kind of where I just left it off. AFC got right the Dolphins, Jets, Titans, Raiders, Browns, Bengals, and Ravens.
But the one you missed was the Patriots as a 2 seed.
Yeah, that one hurts, but I got almost all the other ones correct.
Yeah.
Well, I got all the other ones for
Now,
the
it's
AFC.
also when this was updated constantly throughout the season.
No, really the only ones I updated were the Ravens and the.
I feel like you added and subtracted teams a few times.
No, I never. I subtracted. I thought about subtracting the Cowboys and switching for the Commanders,
Okay.
but I kind of just left this as is.
Okay. And the NFL talk there?
Yeah, that's my last bit for the NFL.
Okay. All right. That is our NFL breakdown. We are moving on to the championship week next week. We will have a recap and our discussion on the Super Bowl matchup and who we think is going to win.
Well, I guess we want to give any predictions for the conference championship before we go.
Yeah, I think obviously the Patriots are going to win and Seattle versus LA. I think it's going to be.
I think we're gonna have a Seattle Patriots Super Bowl.
Yeah, I kind of think so too.
Not really at all what I want to see, but
I know. And then it sucks.
it's a
'cause
rematch.
I would be rooting for Seattle in that point, and I don't think Seattle would win.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, Seattle will lose to the Patriots once again in the Super Bowl.
I think so.
Repeat. All right, heard it here first. I'm gonna go the other
See,
way.
I don't want to do the same matchup as you though, so I might take LA. I'll say Patriots LA.
Okay.
Or do I take fucking Stidham?
I would. I'll take the Broncos if you don't want to.
So that's our NFL breakdown. We're moving on to an AFC NFC Championship week. Like I said, we will have our breakdown, and we already talked about who we think is going to win the Super Bowl, but we will have more information and a more accurate prediction and possibly some bets that people can ride on.
Yeah.
So,
At least
yeah.
for the Super Bowl. Now we move on to the College Football National Championship as Miami fought against the Indiana Hoosiers but came up short, and Indiana gets their first NCAA football championship in the school's history, and I am not happy about that at all. I mean, I'm glad 3 straight Big Ten champions. I'm not glad that the third one was Indiana before Penn State got it. If it was Oregon, I would have been able to, understand. They get a lot of money. They get Phil Jackson and Nike to give them a bunch of money. I'm fine with that. But Indiana, after being one of the worst teams in college football history for the past, X amount of years, not a fan of it. But it was a decent game. Yeah, I mean, did you get any eyeballs on it?
I went to work today and somebody mentioned the game. I went, fuck, that was this Monday, wasn't it? Like completely gapped it. I know it's terrible for someone that's on a sports podcast, but I completely forgot that game was on last night. Honestly, what took my mind more is I'm rewatching Holly's watching for the first time Peaky Blinders and just crushing episodes.
Oh,
loving every second of it. Yeah, so it's been pretty great. But to talk about that game, Fernando Mendoza, I believe is the quarterback's name. Right?
Yeah, he got the MVP. He was the offensive MVP. I think the defensive MVP was Kamara or I forget. I don't know.
I did see a pretty sweet rushing touchdown by him. The one where he broke 3 tackles and then dove into the end zone. If that was that game, but yeah, honestly I hate to say it, I got really no notes. I liked Mendoza from what I saw of him, so I guess I did lean Indiana, but obviously Miami would have been a cooler upset. Abella Danger was shown on camera though. That's pretty cool.
There's rumors that she's Carson Beck's girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah,
good for him.
She also goes to Miami, so there's I don't know why I know this.
What's your GPA, right?
That I don't know. I just see some things on Twitter.
Yeah,
it was showing her
things on Twitter.
It was not that. No. It's I use it for news.
The everything app, right?
Goddamn. What was I gonna say? They did show. Apparently, they showed her a lot. I wasn't really.
I saw a clip on Instagram. I didn't know. Obviously, didn't watch the game. Don't know how much.
Was it Jack Mack?
No, it was literally just her at the game, her face.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty funny. So
you had Leo meme?
It was a Barstool guy talking about being like, yo, the cameraman and producer are definitely getting fired for this. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. Like, you can't show a porn star and be like, oh, look at this girl in the stands. Like,
it's also not the first time she's been shown this season.
Yeah, well.
But I understand that, the atmosphere of
the championship game. Know everyone, but a lot of the audience that's watching in the college football championships going to recognize Abella Danger. I don't know who she is. I just see people post about it on Instagram, Holly.
Yeah, who's that? How do you
yeah. Name, everything I've seen is just from Ryan texting me, telling me about it.
Definitely don't check his Instagram followers.
He's the expert.
I mean, do you want to talk about
NBA?
Yeah, it's kind of gross right now.
Tyrese Maxey, all-star starter, first team.
Oh, I didn't even. I'm so out of the NBA. Kind of.
Yeah,
that is sweet.
That's all I got.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's starting to get more into the NBA season that matters. So we'll get probably NBA and NHL season. We'll probably.
It's the most important part of the NFL season.
No, I know, but I'm saying within a month we will be talking because the Super Bowl is going to be in 3 weeks.
True that.
So within a month we'll be full-fledged NBA and NHL.
Yeah. It's the moment I've been waiting for.
This ends our sports part of the podcast as we dive into our sprinkle of pop culture.